Okay, it's 2017, which means we make all kinds of resolutions. We decide to go back to Jesus. We decide to go back to the gym. We decide to go to therapy. We decide to change our resume. We try to, maybe we'll go online. We'll find some motivational quotes. Maybe we'll I don't know. We all want to make changes. And I want to talk about change. I want to talk about evolution, and to move forward. And in that moving forward, maybe my story can help you move forward and help me move forward. I want to tell you a story, just kind of cut straight to the chase, and I might even play a little Grace Potter here. I'm loving this girl's music. You ever have that season where you ever have that season? Okay, this story happened in Muleshoe, Texas. Muleshoe, Texas. Here you go. True story, dude. There's so many stories from that tree. Giving tree. Is that the official giving tree? I don't know. I lit a fire with the love you left behind, and it burned away. And this is like an unbelievable story, I know, but it's kind of one of those times whenever, the Bible says that you will entertain angels unknowing. Well, I had a civil trial, kind of a divorce situation, and I had to watch criminal cases happening before my case, and I'm there alone because I was divested of counsel, and Tina Riccones is one of the worst lawyers probably ever, maybe ever. Make a documentary about bad lawyers, Tina Riccones top 5. So literally, I was divested of counsel because I had to kind of take my case over. And I'm in a Muleshoe courtroom, Muleshoe, Texas. It's literally like it sounds. Muleshoe, Texas. If you were to make a documentary about a little town in Texas, what would it be like and what would it sound like? What would the images come up? When they look like that, would they look black and white? This is why God gives us music and Fibonacci. Hala, shot, collar, green dollar. Bueno. Grace is going to help me tell my story about Muleshoe. And so here I am outside my custody. It was in several phases. So, my thing was done, and I think, I just had a hearing. Maybe it was a hearing to be divested of counsel, and maybe it was a hearing about federally protected statuses, or maybe it was a hearing about 2503 or the Rule 11 or lemonies, or what the fuck is a lemony. Maybe, I don't know what the hearing was about. Remember, I was just sort of learning as I went, because this is my first time to be in a civil case in Muleshoe, Texas. And I didn't go to law school. I was actually running a finance company. So my hearing's done, and my hearing's over. And I walk out, and I see the guy sitting by my car. I had a BMW back then. I gave that car to Joanne, by the way. When I lost my home, I said, well, let me just give my car away. Give it to somebody who has a Fibonacci story, and who, Joanne, that's its own story. Anyway, so I'm walking out to that BMW, and there's a guy there who was sentenced to jail, but the judge, in a moment of goodness, allowed him to go to his mother's funeral, or his grandmother's funeral. And I walk out, and this guy who was just sentenced to jail because he lost a family member was sitting by my car with somebody else. And he sees me, he goes, hey, you left this on your car as you went in, and I didn't want anybody to take it. He holds my cell phone up, and he gives me my cell phone. And that whole time that I was in there, fighting for my life and fighting for my kids and trying to get things on testimony about Texas 2503 and federally protected statuses, and I literally had to subpoena people, and I don't think Stacey Armstrong's subpoena was delivered, and so I might need a refund on that. And what is Texas 2503, and why is it important? I don't know either. But I do know this: in that moment, Jesus Christ in an angel form put on a man's heart to stand watch over my car and over my cell phone to make sure my property was safe until I came back. Now think about it from his perspective. He was going to jail, he lost family members, and he just stood watch. And he didn't even want to touch, like he didn't want to even leave the premise. I mean, he had every right to leave the premise. And in his heart, he's just like, I just didn't want anybody to take your cell phone. Holy shit. And those are the moments of grace. There's all kinds of things I'm going to talk about with Muleshoe, all kinds of things. But I'm also going to tell you about that nameless guy. Just be a little more holla Jesus in 2017. Tell my story. And my story may not matter, but in that moment, I saw Jesus, and I saw the heart of Jesus. And sometimes I think I've been guilty too much of talking about Jesus, but man, I saw Jesus, and there was Muleshoe, Texas, right there. And compare that. The next time you're in a relationship, this is for the codependents out there, people who are watching this from like a 12-step perspective, or maybe someone in religion who's not getting fed, your soul's not growing. We have to get with Jesus, and we have to start telling Jesus' story. This is all this is just Jonathan Fibonacci telling Jesus' story. The day I saw Jesus, watching guard over my cell phone in Muleshoe, Texas. You guys have a great day.